Hello, friends. As many of you are aware, I went to see John Waite last week, and I was on a mission to get at least one of my John Waite records signed. The wife even made a banner for the show, which John actually took from her and held it up for the crowd to see, and then put it on the bass speaker for about the last 4 songs of the show. That was awesome. But I went down to the record store about 2 in the afternoon, hoping to catch the band down there to get my record signed, but it didn't happen. I missed them. Went down to the record store again about 6 o'clock right before the show, and my friend Frank says, "You just missed them." The entire band was in here. John was in looking through the records, told him what a nice record store he had. So my last chance to get it signed was at the show, and I got it signed. My favorite John Waite record, No Breaks. This album right here, I wore out in 1984 and in 1985. Has songs on it like Missing You, Restless Heart, Tears, Dark Side of the Sun. A great record. In my opinion, John has one of the most beautiful singing voices, soulful, just amazing. But he reached down and he signed this for me. So this now becomes one of my grails. Probably a $5 record. I consider it a grail. I also caught a pick from his bass player and a pick from John Waite, which made it a great night. Also, earlier as John was talking to the crowd, he was talking about his DVD. I mentioned I had seen it, so he reaches down and he hands me a copy and says, "Sir, here, have a physical copy." And it's autographed by John Waite. What a great night it was, friends. If you get a chance to see John this summer, he's warming up for Styx, and they're on tour. Go see him. You will not be disappointed. Just a wonderful, nice guy, amazing voice. And now I got one of my grails signed. I thought I'd share a few more grails with you that I have. One of them, Crimes of Passion, autographed by Pat Benatar and her husband Neil. I got to meet them at Lake of the Torches Casino. Here's a set list from that night. It's actually got her boot print on it because she stood on this set list all night. Crimes of Passion, signed. That's a grail. Another grail. Head Games, signed by Lou Gramm. Again, probably a $5 record, maybe a $6 record. To me, it's worth $1 million. Lou signed this for me at a little show down at Black River Falls, Wisconsin. How about Don Dokken? I met Don at the casino up St. Croix Casino in Turtle Lake. He signed this for me before the show. That's now a grail. Eddie Money. I saw Eddie Money when I was 15 years old. I just lost my sister to suicide. I just moved to a new town, El Paso, Texas. I was a lost young boy. I went to see the Allman Brothers. Eddie Money opened the show. He did a song called Life for the Taking. It changed my life. This is Eddie's autograph. I learned later on from his wife that Eddie's logo was designed after his autograph. Where's the Party? That's one of my grails. Also, Life for the Taking. Mike, rock and roll, Eddie Money. That one to me is a grail. Again, probably an $8 record. This one, Styx, Kilroy Was Here. I know this record gets a lot of crap, but I know Dennis DeYoung loves it. And I went to see Dennis DeYoung at the fair in Chippewa, and I was in the front row holding on to this record, jumping up and down, acting a fool. Dennis points to me, "What's your name?" Stops the show, signs it to Mike. That's a grail. I got to meet Dennis again later at another show where he performed The Grand Illusion in its entirety. He signed this for me too. There's me with the band. wearing a silly green tie. There's Dennis and his lovely wife, Susan. And my wife, Gail, my lovely wife, Gail. About Queensryche. Got to meet Jeff Tate at St. Croix Casino up in Turtle Lake. He performed this album in its entirety. Operation Mindcrime. He had a wonderful band. Rudy Sarzo, Simon Wright on drums. I got their autographs as well on the set list here after the show. There's me with Jeff Tate. So that's about a $20 record signed. But to me, that's a grail. What else we got here? We got Jack Russell from Great White. He also signed the set list for me that night. All the boys from Warrant. Except for Janie Lane, of course. There's my wife with the band and the set list from that night. Last but not least, how about Kip Winger and the boys? My wife's got to meet them a few times. And Winger's great live. Again, not an expensive record, but once I get them autographed, they become grails to me. Now, friends, I really can't tell you how much this John Waite autograph on No Breaks means to me. As I mentioned to you, this record helped me through 1984, 1985. It's got great songs on it like Missing You, Dark Side of the Sun, and Restless Heart. If you get a chance, pick up No Breaks. You won't be disappointed. And go see John this summer if you get a chance. Well, thank you for watching, friends. I just wanted to share with you some of my grails. Your grails doesn't mean, being a grail doesn't mean that it has to be worth a fortune. It just has to mean a lot to you. Well, thank you again for watching, everyone. Look forward to seeing you on Record Store Day.